Drills Talk, episode 59. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 reasons you're not an entrepreneur yet. This is based on a blog I wrote in the past entitled Freedom Isn't Free. So you're not an entrepreneur yet. You haven't actually taken the leap, or maybe you're very, very scared to take that leap. Or maybe you feel that you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you're way too comfortable in what you're doing right now. But another thing you need to understand is that it's absolutely not easy. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. A lot of people think, well, I just got to quit my job. I'm going to get a savings. I'm going to start my business, and then I'll be a millionaire. Nope. Drills Talk, episode 59. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 reasons you're not an entrepreneur yet. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, comment, share, show your love however you would like to show your love. Every Monday here, we have a new blog. Every Wednesday, a new Drills Talk, new vlog. Every Friday, we have a new beat produced by me. It's a great channel to follow. I appreciate the subscribe. I appreciate you guys checking in on me every now and then. Let's get started. Number 1. Number 1 is you're uncomfortably content. And yes, that is an absolute oxymoron, but I'm going to let you know why it's possible and why you are probably in this exact situation right now. Uncomfortable, but content. Okay, so I have this great job. I feel good about myself. I have decent money. I make decent money. I can pay my rent or I can make my mortgage. I'm comfortable, but I always have this itch. I always got this feeling. I always got this something pushing me in my back saying to do more. It's always like a little pull or a tug on me every time I'm comfortable. Every time I'm okay, it's just something pulling me, something reminding me that, hey, didn't you want to do this? Didn't you want to do that? How is this going to allow you to do that? I went through the same thing, and it pushed me and pulled on me so much that I actually just got out of it and jumped towards that push or pull, or what it was pushing and pulling me towards. But I know a lot of us out there have that feeling, and some of us are really good at ignoring it because, hey, I need this job and, everything's okay. If I need some money, I got money in the bank. I got vacation, every year. It's cool. Why must I do more? Well, because you're uncomfortable. And if you're going to be uncomfortable, you might as well be uncomfortable working towards being great, working towards exactly what you wanted to do. Because being content and being uncomfortable is not as good as being, chasing your dream or out there and learning and exploring new things and uncomfortable. Because don't get it wrong, being an entrepreneur is extremely uncomfortable. Being an entrepreneur is extremely hard. But you know what? It kind of breeds non-content. You're like, oh, you're never content. You always want to do more. You always want to either help more. You want to make more. You want to expand. There's always a growth thing that's, you're never kind of sitting down in one spot. You're always trying to figure out what's next or how can I make this better? And that's only making you better. Your job, it's probably not making you better. You probably can do it half daydreaming. And that's not a good sign, because if you do that for 20 years, 20, 30 years, some people, some even more, then what have you gotten really good at except that job? When you leave that job or you retire, now what do? You're lost. You don't know what to do. But as an entrepreneur, if this is in your blood and this is continuously pulling on you, that never happens. There's always something. Number 2 is you don't understand the cost. You're not an entrepreneur because you have no idea what goes into being one. Freedom isn't free. And being an entrepreneur is absolute freedom. But with absolute freedom, you are completely and totally responsible for you. There's no paycheck coming every Friday or every other Friday or the 1st and the 15th or the 15th or the last day of the month or however your company pays you. That's gone. If you don't do anything to make income, then nothing comes in. And that's part of the price. You want to be your own boss. You want to create something that's great for the world. No one's going to believe in you. Not a lot of people are going to want to help you. That's just part of the cost. Breeds doubt. How can you unplug from this world that everybody else has to live? What do you mean you don't have to wake up early in the morning and go to work? What do you mean that you don't have to ask for permission to go on vacation that you supposedly already have built into your yearly salary? What do you mean your child is sick, but you have to call and ask if someone can take your spot before you can stay home with them? Well, you can do it, but there's a cost, and you have to be willing to pay that cost. That cost means that money may be tight for a year or 2 or 5 or more. It could. But are you willing to pay that price? Are you willing to say, okay, well, this pandemic that we're going through, at the time of this taping, the kids can't go to school, but I have to go to work. Now you have a dilemma. What are you going to do? You can either quit your job, or you'll have to find somebody to mind the kids while you're going to that job that don't care that there's a pandemic going on, and for some reason you can't work from home doing your job. Now, there's a lot of people that, what they do, if they work in a department store, you're working at a fast food place, or you have to be in person. That may be a sign that, okay, what's going on right now is definitely not beneficial to what's going on outside of work. Okay, I have children, I need to be home, or I have older loved ones that I need to take care of, and I need to, be here if they need me. But you can't do that because your job doesn't allow it. That's a sign. Not having that job means, though, that you don't have that constant income. You don't have that, non-care, being like, okay, well, yeah, there's a pandemic going on. A lot of people are losing their jobs, but I still have my job and my check is still going to cash on Friday. That comfort there, with that comfort, there's a cost. But with that freedom is a bigger cost, but it's worth paying it every day. Believe me, know the costs. Know that things are going to be tight. Know that things are going to be scary. Know that things are going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to be worth every second of it. Number 3. Number 3 is you haven't made the decision to jump. It's hard to be an entrepreneur if you never try. It's hard to be an entrepreneur if you never press the start button, if you never, incorporate, or if you never, come up with an LLC or at least try a dry run. How could you ever get there? You never gave it a chance. You got all dressed up and went to the interview to get that job. You put on your best face and you memorized little things about the company you didn't care about to get that job to impress the person that was interviewing you. But you didn't give yourself that chance. You didn't give yourself that chance. You didn't make that music that you said you wanted to make. You didn't create those t-shirts that you wanted to create. You didn't make that clothing line that you wanted to create. You didn't take those photos because you wanted to model. You didn't try anything, but you put your best face on and were in your best behavior for that interview. Multiple interviews probably just to find that one job that you have. Why is that? Why do we do that? We don't think about that, but you went the extra step to get that job you don't want, but you don't go half a step for the life that you really want. And maybe you needed to hear that. But that's the truth. So what are you going to do? You got to give yourself that shot. You got to take that jump. You got to take that leap of faith. If you fall, you fall. Jump again. That's part of it. That's part of it. It's not for everyone, but at least give yourself the shot, because if it works out for you, or when it works out for you, if you're going to keep on jumping, no matter how many times you fall, it's going to be worth it. Yes, it's scary, but so is doing what you're doing now for 30 years and then not being able to do what you really wanted to do because the time has passed. And at your age, whatever that is, 30 years from now, you probably can't do exactly what you want to do to the level you wanted to do it if you were to do it now. Number 4. Number 4 is you don't understand fear. You don't understand fear for what it is. And I've touched on this in prior Drills Talks. It's just the unknown. It's not like a bully's coming and, oh my goodness, that person's going to punch me in the face. No, it's who is that coming? And do I know them or do I not know them? But what's the best way to get rid of that fear? To figure out who that person is coming. And then the fear is gone. Who is that? I don't know that person. Just like that new jump. I don't know what's going to happen if I, save up some money and actually try to go full fledged for what my dream is. I don't know what's going to happen. It's that unknown is scary. It's basically walking into a dark room. If you're afraid of the dark, or if you were afraid of the dark when you were a child, you were afraid because you couldn't see. Not of the dark necessarily. The dark doesn't mean anything. It's the fact that you can't see. It's the fact that you don't know what's next. And that's what scares you. Everything that you're telling yourself is in the dark is what scares you. You turn that light on and all of a sudden it's not so scary. Not even a couple of walls that you can now walk around because I see them. Understand fear. Fear is unknown. It's not supposed to be crippling. It's supposed to tell you, okay, well, this is bringing unease. I need to figure out how to turn the light on of what's going on right now. And the only way to do so is to actually go out and do it. And I'm not telling you to just quit your job outright. I'm not telling anybody to do that. But you need to get into what you're trying to get into slowly. And at one point, you're going to get to the point where it's going to be a choice. And then you make that choice because you've already tasted that. You've already turned those lights on. It's not as dark as it was before. And you understand fear. And it's going to be a fear of not chasing your dream versus the fear of losing this job that you're content with, but not exactly happy. Not too happy. You're okay. That's what content is. It could be better, but I'm good. But this life here, this dream, living your dream every day, what's better than that? Absolutely nothing. Drill Talk, episode 59. These were the top 4 reasons you're not an entrepreneur yet. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this out. It's Drills.